are working toward an arm balance today called Astavakrasana. It's 8 angle pose, or cricket in 8 places, so you can kind of get a visual right there. So we're going to get nice and crooked and twisted up today in class. We'll be working on a lot of twisting and hip opening and hamstring stretching to prepare us for this pose at the end of class. It's a fun pose, so you just have to have an attitude of playfulness while we work toward this pose. And then we'll just do some of our usual stuff too. So we'll do some sun salutations, some standing poses, and we'll just kind of mix in the stretching preparatory postures throughout class. Okay, so we're gonna start on our back. Have your strap handy. We'll do some hamstring stretches on our back, but go ahead for now and just lay down onto your back, and you can bring your legs into butterfly legs, or you can bring your legs long into Shavasana legs. So whatever is comfortable. If you have butterfly legs, you'll kind of start to open the hips right away. But again, if that's too uncomfortable, I want you to be comfortable right now. Just extend the legs long. You can have the hands resting down by the side, palms face up, or if you'd like, you can place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. This is just a nice way to connect to the breath and feel it in your body. Let's all take a nice inhale through the nose, fill all the way up. Hold it at the top just for an extra pause, and then release it through the mouth. As we release it through the mouth, complete the exhale and find a gentle constriction to your abdominals. So drawing the belly button back toward the spine, pushing out all the air. And then begin to inhale and exhale through the nose. As we inhale and exhale through the nose, make each breath longer and deeper and slower. And so start to even out the breath. So working toward an equal length in for the inhale as the exhale. As we continue to deepen into the breath, start to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. So we'll gently constrict the back of the throat. The breath becomes audible. So the action in your breath is as if you were fogging up a mirror, the sound, but the lips are closed. This helps to control the breath, brings that audible quality so we can really hear our breath and be connected to our breath. We'll take about 5 more breaths here. Last full inhale and exhale. Make this one your longest and slowest yet. Complete the exhale. And then if it's not already, go ahead and extend the left leg long on the mat. And then draw the right knee in toward the chest. Interlace all 10 fingers around the right knee. Flex all 10 toes back toward both knees. And then draw the knee in toward the chest first. Now go ahead and relax the grip on the knee, and then draw the knee around the ribs and up toward the right shoulder. Keep both hips and both shoulders grounded onto the floor, elbows drawing in. You should feel a pinching sensation in your right hip. So we're just compressing the right hip flexor. And then go ahead and relax the grip on the right leg and bring it back towards center. We're gonna extend that right leg up toward the sky. Now this would be a place, if you want to, you can put the strap around your foot, the little loop around your foot, and hold on to this strap. If you're pretty flexible in the hamstrings and you can reach up to your ankle or foot, maybe grabbing your big toe with your peace fingers, that's an option as well. Just want you to feel a stretch in your right hamstring. Keep that left heel firmly planted on the ground and take one more breath here wherever you are. And then we're gonna take that right leg and start to open it off to the right. Again, holding on to the big toe or the strap or maybe your ankle if you don't have a strap available. Now you can take your left hand and press it onto your left hip. if the left hip is hiking off the floor. And also use your own strength to press your left hip onto the floor. Complete the exhale. And then bring that right leg back towards center, and then just bring it across your body. Now you can have the leg straight, or you can bend it to 90 degrees, and then you're gonna bring your leg all the way down and rest it on the floor. So you have a twist, and you're gonna get a stretch in your right glute, right hip, and right IT band. Draw that right shoulder back onto the mat so you have a nice deep twist in your spine. And again, your leg doesn't have to be straight. It can be at 90 degrees if this is too deep of a twist. And then come all the way back to center and release. We're gonna take those stretches on the other side. So go ahead and extend your right leg long on the mat. Draw the left knee into the chest. Interlace the fingers around the knee and find a little squeeze first of the knee straight in toward the chest. And then relax the grip on the knee and draw the knee around the ribs and up toward the shoulder. So you get a little bit deeper here. You should feel a big compression in your left hip. Flex all 10 toes back toward both knees. You're active in your legs. You're active in your arms. Elbows pulling in. And then go ahead and just again, relax the grip on the knee. Bring the leg back towards center and extend it up toward the sky. Once again, this would be a place that you can take your strap and put the loop around your foot. Or you can reach peace fingers around big toe or both hands around the back of the ankle. Just wherever you need to be to find a stretch in your left hamstring while keeping your hips and shoulders grounded onto your mat. Just take one more breath here. Work the stretch. And then start to guide that left leg to the left. So we're gonna get an inner thigh stretch here. Keep that right shoulder and right hip firmly planted on the floor. You can also take your right hand onto your right hip to help you press the hip onto the floor. Complete the exhale and then bring that leg back towards center and you're gonna draw it across the body and you're gonna twist. So the left leg is gonna come to the right. You can bend the leg or keep it straight. Extend that left arm to the left. Press the left shoulder down onto the ground. Hold here for one more full breath, stretching through your glute, hip, twisting in your spine, and come back towards center. Release the strap if you have one. Pull both knees into the chest. So you can grip the knees with your hands, or you can reach opposite hand for opposite wrist or elbow, and see if you can keep the toes, heels, and knees side by side and press the tailbone down onto the floor. Press the shoulders down onto the floor. Take one more full breath here. So we're compressing both hips now and start to roll the length of the spine. We're just gonna come up to a seat. We're gonna take one more seated stretch before we come onto our feet. So we're gonna take Cowface Pose. Strap is handy here again as well, so just have it by your side. We're gonna bring the left knee toward the center of the mat. Right knee is gonna come up and over and stack on top of the left knee. Okay, so a couple things here. If you don't feel super flexible in the hips and you're leaning off to one side, you can sit on a block. Or if you can't get the knees stacked, you can place the foot on the floor. Okay, so you just wanna feel a stretch in your hip, wherever you are. If you're really open in the hips, you can start to scoot the shins parallel to the front of the mat, okay? You're gonna take that right arm up and over. Couple options here. You can take the left hand onto the right elbow. You can reach behind for the clasp with the two hands, or you can take a strap if you wanna take the bind but can't reach, and just hold onto the strap at your back like so, and you can start to work the hands up the strap. Okay, find a nice tall spine. Take 5 breaths here. So working into the hips, working into the shoulders. Nice alignment. Good. Keep the head in line with the spine. So try not to bring the chin toward the chest or crank your neck in any way. 2 more breaths. Deep Ujjayi breath. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent. Release the arms, release the legs, and we're just gonna switch it out. So you'll take that right knee on bottom, left knee on top. Same modifications and options on this side, and this side might be different for you. So you could sit on a block, you can just cross the legs over, bring the shins parallel to the mat. And then we're gonna take the left arm up and over the top, and right hand is gonna come onto the left elbow, or you'll reach for the clasp, the bind behind your back, or you can use a strap and walk your hands up the strap. Please don't sacrifice the length of the spine for the bind, okay? So back off on the bind if you can't stay lifted through the spine. Take 3 more breaths here. Last full deep Ujjayi breath. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Release the hands, release the legs. We're just gonna cross over our ankles and come into a tabletop position. Align the shoulders right over the wrists and the hips right over the knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Let's take 3 cat-cows, 3 rounds of cat-cows. So as we inhale, drop the belly, lift through the crown of the head and the tailbone, and as we exhale, we'll round the spine. Draw the tailbone down toward the floor, and then take your gaze toward navel center. Lift and separate the shoulder blades. At your own pace with your own breath, the inhale brings us to cow, and the exhale rounds us to cat. And one more inhale. Exhale. And return to a tabletop position. Let's go ahead and bring your knees to about mat distance apart, toes to touch, hips to heels, walk your hands forward. 3 breaths in extended child's pose, so another nice stretch through the hips. Complete the exhale here. And then keep the right arm extended and go ahead and slide that left arm underneath the right for thread the needle variation. Just rest onto your ear and your shoulder. And then we'll switch it out. So left arm extends, right arm underneath, come onto right shoulder and right ear. Another full breath. And extend, press back, reach through the fingertips, and then we'll make our way to downward facing dog. Tuck all 10 toes under, lift the hips high, release the heels to the floor. Let the head hang heavy so we're gazing back toward our toes. Our heels are disappearing behind our toes. Neck is nice and relaxed. Three more breaths in downward facing dog. Complete this last exhale. Look toward the hands, walk the feet to meet the hands at the front of the mat. Come into ragdoll, bend the legs, rest the torso on the legs. Opposite hand reaches toward opposite elbow. And once again, the head dangles so the neck is nice and long. Take one more full breath here, focusing on length in the spine. Finding a little space between each vertebra as the head dangles. Release the hands to the floor, heel toe the feet together. Little space between the heels so the sides of the feet are in line with the edges of the mat, and then start to roll up. We're gonna stack the vertebrae as we come. The head's gonna come last. The arms are nice and heavy. Good, nice pacing, everyone. So tightly engage through the legs. We'll spread those toes. Kneecaps lift so the quads are nice and active. Draw that tailbone down toward the earth. Engage through the core, so draw the belly button back toward the spine. Shoulders draw away from the ears, palms face out, fingers face down. So we're nice and active through our hands for mountain pose. Lift through the crown of the head. And on the next inhale, start to bring those arms all the way up overhead for tall mountain. As we exhale, we'll cactus the arms, draw the elbows down, lift through the chest, lift the gaze, and then inhale, come all the way back up. We'll take side moon to the right. So right hand reaches down that right leg, left arm up and over, and we'll just flow this breath to movement. So come back through center, inhale, both arms up, and then exhale, side bend to the left. Draw that left hand down the left leg. Inhale, come all the way back to tall mountain, and then exhale, cactus the arms one more time. Lift the chest, pull the elbows down. Inhale, come all the way up. And then on the exhale, we're gonna bring the hands behind the back for chest expansion. So interlace the hands behind the back, press the fists down toward the floor, lift through the chest, lift the chin, maybe if you feel balanced, and then hinging at the hips, coming down with a flat back. We're gonna come into forward fold with chest expansion. So a little more focus here on the hamstrings and also stretching in the shoulders. So from here, go ahead and bend your left leg and then start to draw the fists to the left and look to the right. So you're gonna feel an increased stretch in your right leg, your right glute, your IT band that runs around along the right side of your right leg. And then come back towards center and bend the right leg and start to draw the fists to the right and look to the left. Feel the stretch in the left side, the outer left side of your left leg. And then come back towards center and release your hands down to the mat. And on the inhale, sit your hips low and let the hands continue to travel up. So we're gonna come into Utkatasana, chair pose. Hold here for 3 more breaths. Really active through the fingertips. Really intense pose. This is fierce pose. So feel the heat building in your hips. Feel the heat building in your legs for 1 more inhale. And then exhale, come all the way to a forward fold. Monkey pose. Inhale, flat back. Head is in line with the spine. Gaze is at the floor. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Step back to plank pose. Hold here in plank pose. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Find your core here. Inhale. Shift forward onto your toes. Exhale, slowly lower down. Use your triceps. Stay nice and engaged. Really nice, Terry. Good control. Tops of the feet flat to the floor. Inhale, low lift cobra. Elbows stay in. Use the strength in your spine to lift through the crown of the head. And exhale, release. 2 more at your own pace. So inhale, keep the movement happening with the breath, and then exhale, release at your own pace. Last one. Inhale, lift. Find that rolling motion, peeling the chest off the floor, and then exhale, slowly lower down. Good. Tuck all 10 toes under. You can come through tabletop or plank. Press it up, and then we'll return to downward facing dog. Exhale. Take 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now look toward the front of your mat, step or float forward. Forward fold, exhale. Breath to movement, we're gonna rise up, tall mountain. Inhale. Side moon to the right, exhale. Right hand slides down that right leg. Inhale to center. Exhale, side moon to the left. Inhale to center. Cactus the arms, exhale with your breath at your pace. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands behind the back for chest expansion. On the inhale, we'll press the fists to the floor, lift the chest and gaze. And as we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips, come down with a flat back. Our inhale is monkey pose. So release the hands as we come up to a halfway lift. And then our exhale is Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, hips low, arms high. And then exhale, forward fold. You can bring hands through heart or off to the side. Inhale, 1 more monkey pose. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Step back to plank pose. And this time, if you would like, lower to chaturanga. So halfway down or all the way down, you can set the knees on the floor for assistance. Upward facing dog or cobra on the inhale, lift through the crown of the head, and then downward facing dog on the exhale. 1 more breath. And last time through. So look toward the front of the mat. Inhale, step or float forward. Exhale, forward fold. So you know where we're going now. Make this your own. So rise up and work with your breath and your pacing. Exhale to the right side moon. Back to center on your inhale and side moon to the left. Your next pose is going to be cactusing the arms. So inhale back to center, and the exhale draws those elbows down. Back to center on the inhale, and then chest expansion for your exhale. So bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, open through the throat, open through the chest, and exhale, forward fold. Hinging at the hips, come down with a flat back. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey, find a flat back, reach those fingers down. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands. Inhale, step back to plank pose. Any modifications, any variations, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Hold here in downward facing dog. 2 more breaths. And if downward facing dog doesn't feel restorative or restful, you can always choose extended child's pose when we're coming back and reconnecting to our breath. On the next inhale, take that right leg high, and exhale, bring your right foot to the outside of the right hand. So a wide-legged low lunge. Want a really active wide-legged low lunge first. So draw the chest forward, reach through the crown of the head, really active here in that left leg. Release the hips to the floor. So find a little buoyancy here in your hips. And then we're gonna take that left hand, plant it firmly on the floor, and take your right hand and reach it around the outside of your right ankle. Okay, now go ahead and set your left knee down on the floor and start to shimmy your right shoulder underneath your right knee. Good, so this is a pretty deep stretch here, but I really want you to connect with the action that's happening in your body, because you're gonna need to know these feelings later in class. So what I want you to do is really tightly squeeze your right knee toward your right shoulder. So fire up your right inner thigh. And then from here, just see if you can get your shoulder a little bit deeper in there, and then one more squeeze. Squeeze that right knee into your right shoulder, hug it tight. Good, and then release that right hand from the ankle or the floor. And we're gonna take the right foot, bring it out to about 45-degree angle. We're gonna just press that right hand onto the right knee, an option to roll onto the knife edge of your right foot. Good, so you can just press it open, and if you'd like, find a little twist in the spine. You can even start to look back toward your toes. Make this stretch your own though. Just opening the hips. So you should feel it in your left hip flexor, you should feel it in your right hip and glute. Good, and then come back towards center. Heel toe your feet back, your foot back to the middle, lift your left knee off the floor, and then plant your left heel on the floor. We're gonna kind of come into extended side angle in a different way. So right hand to the floor, block, and then left arm is gonna just sweep up and around and start to reach it toward the front of your mat. So I want you to feel a big stretch in your left side. Beautiful. Good, and then start to lift that left shoulder. Yeah, so you want to avoid collapsing down, okay? So start to lift, use your core, hold here. Complete this exhale. Okay, now fire up your legs, and you're gonna come up to warrior two. So you're gonna stay low in that lunge. Good, it's a powerful transition from side angle to warrior two in that way. Nice warrior twos, looks really good. Good alignment. Check down and see that your heel is intersecting your arch. Soft gaze across those front fingertips. Nice, soft shoulders, but active arms. Excellent, take one more full breath, warrior two. Good, reverse warrior, just for a transition. So come up and back, really stretch, breathe into your right ribs, and then come all the way down. Low lunge, lift that back heel off the floor, step back plank pose, and lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog on the inhale, downward facing dog on the exhale. Take one more full breath here, and then we'll take those poses on the other side. So take your left leg high and bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand for a wide-legged low lunge. Strong low lunge. So press your chest forward, reach through the crown of the head, one long line from the crown of your head all the way back towards your heel. Good. Start to walk your right hand, your right shoulder underneath your right knee, and your right hand, left, around your left ankle. I'm backwards today. And then from here, go ahead and release that right knee down toward the floor. You can place your left hand to the outside of your left foot, and then squeeze your left knee toward your left shoulder. So hug it in as tight as you can. Good. And then for this last breath, see if you can get that shoulder a little bit deeper underneath your knee. And then hug it in again. Squeeze. Press your left knee into your left shoulder. Good. And then go ahead and relax that grip so you can take that left hand out from underneath. Excellent. Left foot to 45-degree angle. Left hand to left knee. And then you can roll onto the outer edge of the left foot if you like. So you should feel that deep, deep into your glute. And then you can take it into a little spinal twist, looking back towards your right toes if you'd like. One more full breath here. Just maximize your stretch. And then release and bring that left foot back to the center of your mat. Come into a strong low lunge. Lift your right knee off the floor, and then we're just gonna plant that right heel on the floor. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot, and then sweep that right arm up and over and extend it toward the front of your mat. Good, so avoid collapsing the right shoulder down and looking down. Instead, stack that right shoulder on top of your left shoulder and reach actively through your right fingertips. Use your core to stay lifted. Really nice alignment, Spencer, looks good. And then fire up in your legs and very slowly using your core, press up to warrior two. Should feel your leg working really hard to lift you up. Nice, continue to draw the tailbone down and engage through the core. Head stays in line with the spine. So if you find yourself leaning forward or back, position your shoulders so they're right over the hips. Soft gaze across those front fingertips. Take one more full breath here. Stay calm and focused in your breath, even in this challenging pose. And then reverse warrior, just for the transition. So up and back, take a full inhale into your left ribs, and then come all the way down. Low lunge. Vinyasa if you choose. Step back plank. Lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. All right, so we're gonna add on to this series. We'll do a little bit of flow and then we'll take a break after this. So on your inhale, take your right leg high, and this time we're gonna bring it to the center. So low lunge. Keep your back heel off the floor and rise up to crescent lunge. Hold here for 2 more breaths. Good, nice and active inhale. And then exhale, warrior two. So plant that back heel on the floor. Open it up. Inhale, reverse warrior, and then exhale, extended side. Okay, now we're gonna flow this. So you're gonna touch the fingertips down, sweep that left arm forward, all the way forward, reach, 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 and then back. Stay low in the legs, reverse warrior, and extended side. Good, reach, 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 and stretch. Beautiful, Terry, looks good. And then reverse triangle. So this time, straighten your front leg, come all the way back up, and we'll take triangle pose and we'll hold. Reach through the right fingertips, right hand comes to the block, shin or the floor. If it's on your shin, don't rest too much weight there, it's just for balance. Use your core to stay lifted. Good. Alignment looks great, Wakanda. One more breath. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, prayer squat. And we're gonna hold this, okay? So we wanna build heat in the hips. We're building heat and flexibility. So you wanna start to feel it working. So Scott, go ahead and take your chest and lift it up. Perfect, good, sink low. Just relax shoulders, press the palms of your hands together. Find a steady place to gaze. Connect with the breath, even in the intensity of it all. Know that you're building heat and flexibility in your hips for one more full breath. Sink low on that exhale and then inhale, rise up, 5-pointed star. Nice hold. And then exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana. Is bring your heels behind your hips, hinge, or your toes, hinge at the hips, and release. You can take your hands underneath the shoulders and start to walk them back toward the edge of your mat, or you can take your hands around your ankles. Whichever variation you choose, or you can choose a different variation, but I want you to keep your quads nice and engaged and your neck nice and loose and long. So there's no tension here in your neck. You should be able to wobble your head around. Take one more full breath here. On the inhale, rise up. We're gonna flow back. So inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2. Sink low, commit to the lunge. Reverse warrior, inhale, up and back. Exhale, low lunge, come all the way forward. Lift that heel off the back and step back plank and chaturanga. Lower down. Upward facing dog on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Another breath. Let's do that on the other side. So inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step through low lunge. Step lightly, use your core. Inhale, crescent lunge. Rise up. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Sink low, draw that tailbone down. Active in that back leg. Heels lifted. Good. Take one more full breath here. Excellent. Exhale to warrior 2. Okay, now we're gonna flow. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Losing my balance. Reach that right arm all the way forward. Use your core, stay low in your lunge. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side. Reach. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten through that front leg, up and back. And then exhale, triangle pose and hold. Left hand to the block, the shin or the floor. Stack those shoulders. Draw the tailbone down. Head is in line with the spine. Good. On the inhale, lift up. Use your core. 5-pointed star. Exhale, prayer squat. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And then all the way back to warrior 2 at the front. Exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, low lunge. Step back plank pose, inhale. Lower chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Release to the shins, hips to the heels. Take 3 breaths in child's pose. Last full breath. And walk your hands up. Good. Grab a sip of water. And then we'll do some work on our backs for our core. Some more hip stretches, and then we'll come back to our standing series. So go ahead and walk your feet forward, and we're going to come into Navasana boat pose. We're going to do a kind of long hold for our first Navasana. So go ahead and lift your legs off the floor. You can hold onto the backs of your legs with your hands, or you can extend your hands forward. You can keep your legs bent, or you can straighten them. Terry, how is this on your low back? Because option number 2, if it feels yucky, come onto your forearms and you can extend and lift your legs bent or straight, okay? Just I don't want you to feel anything bad in your low back. Yep, so hold here for 5 more breaths. You've got this. Just focus. Feel your core working. You're gonna feel your hips working as well. Keep that chest lifted. 2 more breaths. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Get excited. We're gonna come into low lasana. So you're just gonna cross your ankles, press your hands by your hips and lift. Lift, lift, lift for 3, 2, 1. Place your hips back down. Boat pose, and we're just gonna do it 2 more times. So extend into boat, Cross your ankles, lift your hips for 3, 2, there you go, Scott, nice. 1, lower, Navasana, hold here, extend, Lolasana, cross your ankles, hold for 3, 2, 1, good, excellent. Nice, breathe. Okay, we're gonna take some more hip stretches. So we're gonna come into Firelock Pose or King Pigeon Pose first. So left shin is gonna come parallel to the front of your mat, and we're gonna stack the right shin on top of the left. Right ankle is gonna come to left knee, right knee is gonna come to left ankle, flex those toes back. Okay, so you wanna avoid any weird sickling of the foot, so you have to stay active in the feet to protect your ankle. Good. Block is an option if the hips feel really tight. And if your hips are tight, your knees up here, it's all right, okay? Just use that hand to gently press it down, sit up tall. If the hips are really open and this feels fine, you can always forward fold to even get a little bit deeper. So we're all at different places and you just need to listen to the body and see what's needed today on this side. We're gonna take 3 more breaths here. Last full breath. And switch sides. So we're gonna stack that right leg on bottom, left leg on top. Mindful of the ankles. This side might be different, so make any adjustments if you need a block on this side. Or if you feel more flexible on this side, you can maybe forward fold. Three more breaths. Last breath. Good. And release. So go ahead and extend your right leg forward, and we're gonna bring our left leg into half lotus on our right hip. Good. Active here in this leg, toes pointing up, quad engaged, and we'll just take it into a twist. So right hand to left knee, left hand reaches around for the floor or the toes if you want to take the bind. Keep the shoulders stacked over the hips and let your gaze follow your twist. Maybe the chin comes toward the shoulder. All right, and release. We're going to take a variation of Revolved Heron. So go ahead, this would be a great place for a strap if the hamstring's really tight, and you'll use your strap this way, okay? We're just gonna take that the left foot, take it into your hands or your strap or whatever, okay? And then just for now, just pull that left knee back, active in your toes, sit up straight, good, okay. Don't forget about this leg. We're gonna take the left, hold on to your left ankle, and then take your right hand and flip it to the outside of your left foot. Okay, and we're gonna start to extend that leg straight. So this is where we would take advantage of a strap if we need it. And we're gonna take it into Revolved Heron variation, okay? So you're gonna sit up tall and take your left hand back behind you. Good. Looks good, everyone. Stay lifted, stay long. Hold here for another full breath. Release. Last stretch on this side for now. We're gonna take that left heel, bring it in line with the left hip. Good, and you want a little bit of space here because we're gonna bring our left arm to the inside of the left leg. We're gonna reach forward, extend as far as we can, flip that hand, and then start to wrap it around the outside of the leg. Okay, now again, another great place for a strap if you cannot bind. Take your strap, hold onto it with both hands behind your back. If you can reach, you can bind the hands. Good, nice alignment, Spencer. So yes, we're gonna wanna elongate the spine first, lift up and extend, and then for these last few breaths, we can start to forward fold over the right leg. It's not gonna look like much. This is a pretty challenging pose. You should feel a big compression in your left hip. Just take 2 more breaths here. All right, release, and let's take that on the other side. So extend your left leg long. We're gonna come into half lotus on this side. So right foot is gonna come to your left hip. Good, and then we're gonna take it to the twist. So left hand to right knee, right hand reaches around for the strap, the toes, or the floor. Keep the shoulders stacked over the hips, twisting from the base of the spine, and the gaze follows the twist. So maybe the chin comes toward that right shoulder, and we look back to the back of the mat. And release. Okay, so just take that right foot into your hand. We're gonna start to pull the right knee back. Good, so this will be a preparatory posture, or prep for a posture later. Just get that knee as far back as we can. Big stretch here. Good, and then we're gonna move into Revolved Heron variation. So just start to extend that leg. We're gonna hold onto that right ankle with the right hand and then flip that left hand to the outside of the left foot, or hold onto the strap with the left hand. And then revolve, so the right arm reaches back. We look back toward our right fingertips. And again, stay lifted. Shoulders are over the hips and we're lifted through the spine. So try not to collapse through the upper back. And release from the twist. Right foot comes in line with the right hip, so we have a little space here between our foot and our inner thigh. We're gonna reach that right arm forward. Reach as long as you can, then flip that hand and wrap it around your leg. Okay, Marichyasana 1. Extend through the spine nice and long. Start to hinge forward at the hips, and for the last couple breaths, we can just forward fold over that left leg. And release. Okay, so just give your legs a quick little shake, and then we're gonna make our way back to downward facing dog. We're gonna come back to our standing series. We'll flow a little bit, and now we're gonna move into some balancing postures. So find downward facing dog, reconnect to your Ujjayi breath. One last breath here. All right, back to our flow. So right leg lifts, inhale, crescent lunge, exhale. Sorry, low lunge, exhale. Crescent lunge, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. Reverse warrior, inhale. Extended side angle, exhale. Reach with that left hand toward the front so you get a big stretch here. Come all the way up, 5-pointed star. Inhale. Prayer squat, exhale. Sink down into the hips, get low. 5-pointed star, inhale. And warrior 2, exhale. Reverse inhale, and then come into half moon, exhale. Ardha Chandrasana, hold here. You can take that hand to a block, shin or ankle. Really nice half moons, good. Okay, so we're gonna transition out of half moon into airplane pose. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna square that left hip to the floor and then reach that right arm back to meet the left. So both arms extend back, palms face down, active through the fingertips. Take one more breath here. Good, and then come through to standing staff pose. So left leg lifts, arms up overhead. Option to extend that leg straight, hold here. Relax those shoulders away from the ears, and then bring that knee in. Okay, so we already did this on our back, hands around the knee. Let's pull it in first, and then relax the grip on the knee, pull it around the ribs and up toward the shoulder. Okay, So we're getting a standing balancing hip stretch here. Now you can hold here, option number 1. Option number 2, keep that right hand on the left shin, similar to what we did in Marichyasana 1. Bring that left hand arm to the inside, flip it, wrap it around. Okay, it's a challenging little variation here, but either way, I just want you to feel a compression and a stretch in your hip, whatever variation you take. And then find a dristi, so a place to gaze at and help you with your balance. Again, in whatever variation you've chosen. And then we're gonna bring that left foot to standing pigeon. So cross the left ankle over the right knee. Hands come to the heart. Sink down. Get low if you can, but keep the chest lifted. All right, last push on this leg, option to twist. So left elbow to the sole of the left foot, hands back to the heart. Okay, if you're twisted, unwind. Know that leg is talking to us now. And then airplane lunge. So step way back. Good. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, reach through those fingertips, and then place the hands on the floor. Step back to plank. Oh, I feel that right leg. We'll even it out here in just a second. Come back to downward facing dog. Couple recovery breaths here. Last one. All right, back to our flow, moving to the balancing. So left leg lifts, inhale, step through, low lunge, exhale. Crescent rise up, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. Reverse warrior, inhale up and back. Extended side angle, exhale. Reach that arm all the way forward, big stretch. 5-pointed star, inhale. And prayer squat, exhale. Work with your breath. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. And let's balance. Half moon, exhale. Step onto your left foot. Reach through your fingertips up toward the sky. Flex your right foot. We're gonna transition into airplane pose. So start to release that right hip so it's squared with the left. Reach your hands back, extend through your chest. Good. And then very slowly in the transition, try to do it without touching down. Come into standing staff pose. Option to straighten the leg. Lots of variations, lots of modifications you can take. So bring that right leg in. Hands around the knee, pull the knee in, little compression here, and then bring that knee around the ribs and up toward the shoulder. Okay, you can stay right here. Use the strength of your arms to compress your hips. Okay, you're getting your biceps working here as well. Or take the left hand to the right shin, right hand reaches forward, flip the hand, wrap it around, maybe for the bind behind the back. Whatever variation you choose, I mostly want you to focus on the compression in the hip. And of course, working with our balance, keeping the breath and the gaze steady. And we're gonna transition from here into standing pigeon pose. So bring that right ankle to the left knee. Hands to the heart, and get low. Very slowly with control. Lower the hips down, but keep that chest lifted. And then option to twist. So you can take that right elbow to the sole of the right foot. Maybe work the thumbs toward the sternum as we twist deeply through the spine. And then if we are twisted, just unwind here. Step back, airplane lunge. Reach those fingertips back, squeeze your shoulder blades, squeeze your triceps, and release. Hands to the earth, step back plank pose, lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Take another breath here. And release. All the way down onto the floor. Okay, we've got a couple more preparatory postures to take before Astavakrasana. So we're going to take one more arm balance first. Actually, not first. We're going to take one more posture before. So extend your left leg forward. Okay, we're going to take just a quick cradle the baby. We're not going to hold this one long. So just take your right leg, bring it either elbows around the foot and the knee or shin to the crooks of your elbows, okay? Just hold here for 2 more breaths. All right, okay, so we started working into this one earlier, so take your hands around your foot and then start to draw your knee back. Good, good. Stay tall and then really pull it back. It's a very different sensation here in the hip and the lower back. All right, now holding onto your left foot, take your right arm to the inside of your right leg. Reach that right hand around and set it on the floor. Excellent. Okay, so you can use your hands again to just get that leg as high as you can, so you can just continue to prop it up, prop it up. Good. So we'll play first with balanced elephant. Remember, attitude of playfulness, okay? Hands by the hips. Press your heel into the floor and just lift your hips off the floor. Good. Now, the action we talked about earlier in class, you squeeze that right knee into your right shoulder. Maybe you lift your left foot off the floor. Yes, because the problem here is this sliding leg. So that's why we like to prepare that inner thigh to squeeze in to avoid the slip. But of course, it takes some flexibility too to get the leg up high. Okay, good, nice. Awesome, Spencer, perfect. That is balanced elephant pose, very good. Challenging arm balance, you got it, Scott, awesome. Okay, so if you gave up already, put your leg back up there because we're gonna move from there into compass pose or sundial pose. So this would be a great place also for your strap if you wanna put it around your leg, or your foot, I'm sorry. Get that leg up there, nice and high. Okay, so you can keep the leg straight, or I find it's a little more supported and a little easier to bring the leg in. It's totally your choice. Left hand is gonna go on the strap or your foot, and then we're gonna start to extend that right leg open. So again, this is about flexibility in the hamstrings. Good, so as you begin to straighten the leg, press that right arm straight, and then eventually we want to start to look out under the left arm. Okay, so that's compass pose, good. And you've got that strap, so you can extend that strap as much as needed if the shoulder feels tight. Good, Terry, that looks great. Awesome, you guys, very nice. Okay, release. Like, I'd rather come back to balancing on one foot at this point. All right, so let's do that on the other side. So we're gonna extend that right leg forward. We're going to come into quick cradle the baby first, okay? So take that left hand or that left foot, wrap your arms around it, or rest the shin in the crook of the arms. Good. And we'll just hold here for 2 more breaths. So always in cradle the baby, it's a nice place to just check in with your hip, and you can find movement and see where it's tight, where it's holding any tension. And again, very normal for both of your sides to be really different from one another. I know mine are. All right, so now hold your left foot with your right hand. Left arm is gonna come to the inside of your left leg, place it on the floor. Work your leg as high up on your shoulder as you can. Good. Get it up there, and then place that left hand back on the floor, okay? Now, here's the action. Left knee squeezes in. Feel everything engage when that happens. Place your other hand on the floor, lift your hips off the floor. Maybe we start here today. This is a great place to start. Maybe we lift our right foot off the floor too for balanced elephant pose. Good. Breathe. Really nice, Spencer, looks awesome. Okay, in that action, when we start to lift, you want to use your mula bandha or your pelvic floor, your root lock, to lift and pull you up. So you want to suck everything up and in, okay? Awesome, and then we will move from here into compass pose. So get that leg back up on there. You can keep that leg extended or bend it, your choice. Strap around the foot if you'd like, or that right hand flips to the outside of the left foot. Left arm is gonna extend long on the mat. You're gonna start to work that left leg towards straight, maybe looking out underneath the right arm. Good. Nice use of this strap, Spencer, looks really good. Good. So we'll kind of go ahead and loosen up on the strap. Start to use your quadricep, your thigh muscle to straighten that leg. Excellent. Everyone looks great. Okay. Perfect, perfect. Astavakrasana, let's do it. So we're gonna, we've done all the prep. We're ready to go. Similar actions are gonna happen in this pose. It's an arm balance, okay? It takes a little courage. You're gonna tilt forward. You might feel like you're gonna fall on your face, but guess what? You're not really high off the ground, so it's okay if you do that, all right? So let's start on the right side. Once again, bring that left leg in, just like we're doing compass pose, and bring that right leg up and over as high as we can. Okay, so right hand comes to the floor by your hip. Left hand comes to the floor by your other hip. And this time we're gonna cross this ankle over. Okay? You're gonna use chaturanga arms. Get a little momentum, lift those hips off the floor. Good. Now we start to squeeze the legs straight and off to the side as we hinge forward and look down at the floor. You look like you have a question. Exactly. 8 cricket in 8 places pose, okay? Okay, left leg over the right. Take those hands to the floor. Chaturanga arms, lift your hips. Good, and then we squeeze the legs. And then we hinge forward. And then we maybe fall. Excellent, let's switch sides. We'll play around on this side. And then we'll be done with this nonsense, just nonsense. Okay, left leg up and over the shoulder. Hands by the hips. We're gonna cross the right foot on top of the left. This is where you find that squeezing action. Squeeze the left knee into your shoulder. Squeeze your legs together. Rock forward. Hinge forward. Look down. Playfulness. So, Astavakrasana is an advanced arm balance, so don't be discouraged. It's just fun. It's just fun. Come on, man. Get out here and demo it for us. And the great thing about this pose is everything we did in class is so beneficial to your body, okay, whether you balance on your hands or not. Good. It's just awesome, just so awesome. The hips. It's all about the hips and hamstrings, the hammies. Good. I know, Spencer, you're gonna go home and practice this in your living room. I just can tell. Awesome. Okay, we are so stretched out and twisted out, so we're just gonna close our practice on our backs. We'll take a couple twists in Shavasana, all right? So go ahead and lay down. Let's just open the front body with the bridge pose. So bring your hips in toward your heels, hands down by the side, lift your hips up, press into your heels, hold here. And exhale, roll down, release. Take your arms to goal post, release your knees to the right. If you'd like to take a different twist variation, feel free to do that. 2 more breaths. Bring your knees back towards center and release them to the left. Look to the right. 2 more breaths. Bring your knees back to center, hug your knees into your chest. And then just take this opportunity for any other movements you'd like before Shavasana. If you're ready for Shavasana now, you can go right into it. So let your body fully release and relax here, letting the palms face up and the feet fall open. Just soften through the breath. Take these last few moments of silence and stillness just to let your practice integrate. Start to awaken the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Rolling the wrists and the ankles. Working the arms overhead for a full body stretch, reaching fingertips to toes. Big deep breath in. And then rolling onto the side. Cradle the head in the arm. Draw the knees into the chest. And take this final moment here to acknowledge your practice. And set an intention for your day. And then come up to a seat. Then we'll come all the way up and find a nice long spine. Bring the hands to the heart. And we'll take one final breath together. So inhale through the nose, fill all the way up. Hold it at the top, and when you're ready, let it go through the mouth. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your heart. Namaste.